If you want a cold wallet, security matters more than flashy marketing. In this video, we are comparing 7 very different options, from card-style wallets to touchscreen devices and Bitcoin-focused picks. Check the links in the description and pinned comment if you want to compare them directly. Now let's start with number 7. At number 7, we have the Tangem Crypto Wallet. This one stands out because it approaches cold storage in a very simple, card-based way instead of giving you a bigger hardware device with buttons and a screen. That makes it especially appealing for beginners who want something they can understand quickly. You tap the card with your phone, use the companion app, and manage your assets through a workflow that feels much more modern than older wallet designs. Another reason people look at Tangem is convenience. There are no cables hanging around, no bulky gadget to charge, and no complicated menu system to learn before you even get started. The card format is also easy to carry, easy to store, and easy to keep discreet. Where it becomes less ideal is for buyers who want a more traditional device with an on-device display and a deeper sense of manual control during every step. So this is a great fit for someone who values simplicity, mobility, and a clean, everyday user experience more than an advanced hardware wallet feel. A good way to think about this wallet is as the easy everyday option, simple to store, simple to explain, and simple to use when you do not want a complicated setup. Coming in at number 6 is the OneKey Pro Crypto Cold Wallet. Compared with ultra-minimal card wallets, this one feels more like a dedicated hardware device for people who want clear direct interaction when approving transactions and managing accounts. That difference matters because some buyers do not want every action to depend so heavily on a phone-first experience. A more traditional wallet body can feel more confidence-inspiring if you like reviewing details carefully before signing. OneKey Pro also makes sense for users who want a balance between portability and a richer device experience. Instead of focusing almost entirely on simplicity, it leans more toward control, structure, and the type of workflow that crypto users often expect from a classic hardware wallet. That can be useful if you plan to manage several holdings and want a device that feels purpose-built rather than ultra-lightweight. The trade-off is that it is not the most stripped-down option in this list, so total beginners may find card-based wallets easier to grasp at first. Still, if you want something more substantial without jumping straight into the more specialist-looking wallets, OneKey Pro is a reasonable middle ground. That makes it a better fit for someone who wants a more hands-on device experience and prefers reviewing actions through dedicated hardware instead of relying only on a card. At number 5, the Bitkey Secure Wallet earns a spot because it is especially interesting for buyers who want a more focused philosophy instead of a catch-all crypto device. Bitkey is the kind of wallet that tends to appeal to people who care as much about recovery design, account safety, and the overall security model as they do about basic storage itself. In other words, it is not just about holding coins offline. It is about how the whole system feels when you are setting it up, confirming actions, and thinking through long-term access. That focused approach can be a big advantage if you already know the specific ecosystem or type of asset you want to prioritize. It also helps Bitkey feel less cluttered than wallets trying to be everything to everyone. The downside is that buyers looking for a very broad, multi-purpose crypto wallet may prefer something more flexible. So I would place Bitkey higher for users who value a more intentional, streamlined setup and who like the idea of a wallet built around a narrower mission rather than a massive feature spread. For the right person, that clarity is exactly the selling point. This is especially useful if your priority is not collecting every possible feature, but choosing a wallet experience that feels more intentional and easier to trust long-term. Number 4 is the Keystone Cryptocurrency Wallet. This is the kind of option that immediately looks more serious, more deliberate, and more advanced than the slim card-based models. Keystone tends to attract people who want a cold wallet experience that feels highly separated from the online world, with a stronger emphasis on isolated signing and a more security-first workflow. That usually appeals to users who do not mind taking an extra step or two if it means the process feels more controlled. Another reason it stands out is the device style itself. A larger dedicated unit can make navigation and transaction review more comfortable for people who want to see information clearly instead of relying on a tiny interface. This also gives Keystone a more technical personality, which many experienced users actually prefer. Of course, that same strength can make it feel less approachable for someone who simply wants the quickest and easiest path into cold storage. So Keystone is best for buyers who are happy to trade some everyday convenience for a more robust, intentionally security-centered experience that feels like a serious tool rather than a casual accessory. For buyers who already understand the basics of self-custody, that extra structure can feel reassuring because the wallet is clearly built around controlled transaction approval. At number 3, we have the Alipal Xcard Crypto Cold Wallet. What makes this one interesting is that it targets buyers who want portability and simplicity, but still like the idea of using a dedicated cold storage product rather than keeping everything tied to hot wallet habits. The card format is the biggest attraction here. It is slim, easy to carry, and visually much less intimidating than a classic hardware wallet. That matters for people who want something practical and discreet, especially if they do not want a bulkier device sitting in a drawer with cables and accessories. Illipel X Card also fits users who appreciate a mobile-friendly flow and want cold storage to feel less technical on a daily basis. That said, buyers who prefer a more device-centric setup with a bigger interface may still lean towards something like Keystone or another traditional unit. So this product makes the most sense for someone who values compact design, simple handling, and a smoother entry point into offline storage. It feels like a good option for users who want security benefits without jumping straight into the most advanced-looking hardware. It is also a practical pick for people who want something discreet, because the card format does not look like a technical gadget when stored with everyday items. Taking the number 2 spot is the Descent Hardware Cold Wallet. This pick stands out because it blends a more classic hardware wallet structure with convenience features that can make daily use feel less clunky. It is a good choice for buyers who want dedicated cold storage, but also want the product to feel practical rather than overly rigid. One of the reasons Descent gets attention is that it tends to offer a more user-friendly bridge between serious wallet security and a smoother everyday workflow. That makes it attractive for people who plan to manage their holdings regularly instead of locking assets away and forgetting about them for years. It also has the kind of identity that suits multi-asset users who want something more substantial than a card wallet, but less intimidating than some high-security specialist devices. Compared with the lower-ranked options, Descent feels more rounded. It gives you the sense of using a proper hardware wallet while still aiming for convenience and accessibility. For buyers who want a strong all-around option without going fully minimalist or fully hardcore, this one lands in a very comfortable sweet spot. That balance is why it ranks so high. It feels serious enough for regular crypto management, but still approachable enough for users who do not want unnecessary friction. In the number 1 position, I put the Arculus Cold Wallet. The reason it takes the top spot is that it offers a very attractive balance between security, simplicity, and mainstream usability. Arculus is especially appealing to people who want cold storage to feel modern and approachable instead of technical and intimidating. Its card-based style keeps it compact and easy to carry, while the overall system feels designed for users who want to interact through a phone without losing the benefits of a separate cold storage element. Another advantage is that Arculus tends to present itself as a guided experience rather than just a piece of hardware. That makes it easier for new buyers to understand where their security comes from and how they are supposed to use the wallet day to day. Compared with more specialist products, it is less about heavy-duty complexity and more about practical confidence. Compared with simpler card alternatives, it often feels a bit more security conscious in how the full experience is framed. If you want the best blend of accessibility, mobile convenience, and a dedicated cold wallet mindset, Arculus is the pick I would place at number 1. Overall, it wins because it keeps the experience clean, portable, and beginner-friendly while still feeling like a dedicated cold wallet rather than just another app accessory. Those were 7 cold wallets worth comparing. The best choice depends on whether you want a simple card-based experience, a touchscreen device with extra control, or a wallet built around a very specific use case. Check the links in the description and pinned comment to compare prices and details.